Hey everybody, I'm gonna do my live stream for Wednesday night. I'm gonna start doing these every Wednesday night around 7, and on Saturdays, I'm not sure, between 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Run a few trains around on my track, answer some questions that y'all might have, um, maybe take some requests as to what engines you'd like to see that I have. Um, Run a special train every now and then. But anyhow, I can see nobody's on right now, but anyhow, I'm hooking up right now my southern, or not southern, yeah, my southern and my interstate heritage units on track 2, which is this one, closest track to the camera. And I am trying to keep it from uncoupled. I'm having a little bit of issues because some of the cars, the couplers just are crap. And I've had to put a couple of transition cars in here. But right now I'm not sure of the... Hey, Irish Train Guy, what's up? Right now I'm not sure how many cars are on here, but I know I've got 2 engines, and from where I stopped just shy of the door so I can open it, back to where it goes under the bed is completely full on the track. Nice to hear that you're doing good. It's always good to hear that friends are doing good. But yeah, from where I stopped to where it goes under the bed, I don't like to have anything sitting under the bed at night because the frame, there's just wooden slats that go from one side to the other to hold the mattress on, the mattress and box springs. And I don't trust it to not fall on the tracks in the middle of the night when I'm tossing and turning, so I'm guessing probably 20, 25 cars that are on this train. Slowly trying to speed it up. I'm just working a little bit at a time here because I actually had to glue one of the cars together, and I can see that for some reason the front truck on my interstate is off. It is actually only running 1 axle instead of 3. But Irish Train Guy, I don't know if you've seen these yet or not. I put up a couple videos a little bit ago. I have the Southern Heritage unit, and I just got the Interstate Heritage unit. I gotta stop the train here for a second so I can fix the front axle. But and I got better lighting in my room so I can start doing these live streams later in the day. But there's the Interstate that I just got today, and I actually set and weathered it on the grills and stuff. The top I'm not sure yet because I don't have any pictures from the top of that locomotive or the Southern, which is this one. So if you have any questions on stuff that you see that I'm running around, feel free to ask. I'm not the brightest person or brightest tool in the shed, but I do know a little bit. Take a couple of these cars off here that didn't make it all the way around the track. Don't need them causing a crash. But anyhow, I'll get that running, and then I'm going to fire up my DCC Digitrax system and get a couple locomotives running on the other track. I was going to run my office car train tonight that I've done up for Brandon Railway, but I don't have all the cars detailed yet. I've got them all painted, but I don't have the decals yet. I had to order, I think it was 3 more sheets because I have like 27 cars. It's going to be similar to the Norfolk Southern office car train if you've ever seen it. It has a F7, 2 A units and 2 B units. Well, I've got 2 A units and a B unit, and I've got a SD70 Ace, which is what BNSF uses on their train, on their office car train. So run this around one more time, and then I'm going to have to stop it so I can get stuff running on track 2. Try to do a little bit of work while it's Well, this one's running, or track one, which is the furthest from the camera. Try to get that set so I can run a DCC locomotive or two, depending on how frisky I get and how many cars I want to throw on here. Should have... I guess it would help if I plug it in to the track. Always helps to have track. And why are you not on? For some reason, there it goes. The train wasn't wanting to turn on. It was wanting to move, but the prime mover wasn't wanting to turn on. So I got to move it back a little bit so I can get these hopper car, or gondola cars out of the way. Let's see. I've got a Norfolk Southern SD40-2 from Scale Trains. I've got it currently on track one, running the opposite direction of the train that's running on track two. As soon as I get these cars out of the way, I'm going to throw some of my coal cars on here that I have custom loads for, that Kokosing Valley Central helped me make. I thought I had a little bit more time before I started my live stream, but I didn't, and I try to keep true to my word. I said Spock the other day, and it was like 7:04, and it's like crud. So I didn't have time to have everything completely set up. Otherwise, I would have had all this ready for you guys before I even started streaming. And of course, I have another boxcar off. So we'll cruise this train up here to a stop so I can fix the boxcar again. And I see that nobody's on right now, which gives me a second to get some stuff set up. In fact, I am going to throw a second locomotive on track one, because I think I'm going to run my entire coal train on here, which is 34 cars, I think, is what I have on here, that has the loads all done and everything. And Matt, I'm looking forward to eating you Friday, to be able to say them gondolas, and depending on what time you'll be up in the area, I might be able to bring a couple of my locomotives to show off detail-wise what I've weathered on them and stuff. It just depends, because I know I'm doing paper routes Friday morning. I think the time that we have scheduled, 9:30, 10 o'clock, somewhere in there, I'll be able to do that and bring some cars to show off, or some locomotives to show off, just because I'll have a little bit of downtime before going and going up to Ashland to meet you up there. I think I'll throw my BNSF on here. Seems to be louder than the Norfolk Southern, although they're all the same. I done a factory reset. Howdy, whoever's on here. I don't think I've seen that one, but I think you're new to my channel, so I'll show you a couple of locomotives I just got within the past week. Here's the Interstate Heritage unit. I just picked it up today. Mailman was nice enough to bring that to me, although I ordered it. And the Southern Heritage unit. And then these are DC, but they are DCC ready. And the two making a lot of noise in the background are DCC, obviously, with sound. And they are from Scale Trains. I'm actually just getting ready to hook up. That didn't sound good. Let's see. It's kind of hard to see the live chat because it only comes up for a second. Yeah, I'm not sure if you came over from Kokosing Valley Central's page. He's one of my friends, Garrett. I've known him for 4 or 5 years now. He's the one that helps me out with a lot of my model railroading and stuff, because he's better equipped to help with maintenance and making custom coal loads, like this one here, Real Pennsylvania Coal. He made that. Well, I made this load, but he made 20, 25 coal loads for me for my Virginian coal train. So yeah, it's going to take me a second. Like I said before on the video, I was rushing around because I realized at the last minute that I was late on getting my live stream started, and I don't like starting late. I try to keep true to my word as much as I can, and so find my other transition car here, and I will get my Virginian train going, but I didn't have much time to get stuff set up. I was going to run my business train for Brandon Railway, but I don't have the decals for it yet. I've only got 7 of the cars detailed, so I'm slowly working on getting that detailed. Speed track 2 up here a little bit so there's not as much dead air. I used to work in the radio station, so sometimes my terminology will be from a radio station, dead air, but anyhow. But yeah, that's why I don't have everything quite set up 100% yet. But I do know that for Saturday, I think I'm going to go ahead and do the live stream of my Brandon Railway business train. Just to show that all, I think I got 15 to 17 passenger cars, somewhere in that ballpark, all painted up for my railroad. And so I'll have that going for you guys. Hey Sam, how's it going? Move this forward just a little more. Samantha, I did start working on your locomotive the other day. I think that bright magenta is going to turn out really nice. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. But, like I said, I think that bright magenta is going to turn out nice. I think you're going to like what I'm doing with it, paint-wise and everything. So, I will continue to work on that when I have a chance. And I also got my new Brandon Railway locomotive. Well, it's a former CSX. I started painting it for Brandon Railway for their cancer awareness. Next time around, I'll stop this train closest to the camera on the bus and give you guys a good look at what I did with it. It was a high railer that just was not going to run right. It had too many issues, needed a new drive on it, and I wasn't going to put that kind of money into it. So I took a blowtorch to it, made it look like it got hit by a train. Oh, I bet Luna misses the crap out of me. She loves biting my arm. So, but yeah, I took a blowtorch to that high railer and made it into a crashed bus. So, just about got a decent coal train going here. Nope, don't want that car on yet, because it's got the glued coupler. Anyhow, some of these coal loads Garrett helped me with. Some of them are store-bought. But I like the way they all look, so that's all that really matters. Don't know if you can still hear the locomotives chirping in the distance. Those are my Scale Trains SD40-2s. I see this one coming up. There's the bus, as promised, to make look like a wrecked bus. It went one-on-one with a loaded coal drag. Buses will never win in that instance. The funniest thing about this bus is I actually took it to the Kingwood Center up in Mansfield last year. And I was running it around, and I had a bunch of kids come up to the table and ask if they could take their picture with the crashed bus. And I think I got just as much of a kick out of that as they did, because, yeah, it's something cool that I done up just for my railroad and all that, but to have somebody come up and, hey, that looks really cool, can I have my picture taken with it? I got a laugh out of that and everything. So add just a few more cars to this coal train, since I got 2 locomotives on here pulling this freight. I don't want to go too far, because like I said, I don't like having stuff sticking out or sticking under the bed at night. So I will have to get up here in a second and check and see where exactly this train stops at. But I think that ought to be enough. Get this moving. Oh wow, I still got plenty of room. My phone's down right now, Samantha. I don't have any minutes on it. I should get minutes beginning of the month or something like that. I'm not sure. And once I'm done with the live stream, I think I'm probably going to head to bed. Got a long day tomorrow. But I'll get a hold of you at some point here shortly. Next day or two. Move some of these cars out of my way. Let's see. If you're just joining in, well, I see nobody is on, so it gives me a second to do some more work here. Scrap steel loads that I dented my gondolas. It's just old track that was never going to be used again, so I cut it up. Makes for a heavy consist, that's for sure. So, ugh. That one car just does not want to go on there right. Let's see, that should fit there. And last one. And then I need to pull it forward to a stopping point. Check and make sure it's not going to be sitting under the bed, because I refuse to have anything sitting under my bed at night. I just don't trust the frame. I still hear my locomotives nice and clear, so they should still be out from under the bed. Turn my camera just a little bit. Speed this train up. One thing I gotta ask you guys, because I've had a couple issues with it, is track that gets bent. What's the best way that you guys know how to fix that? Because I've tried to fix bent track, and I've had considerable amounts of issues with it. All I do is of course I'm running Bachmann track, so I just take and try to force it back to what it was, and it seems to hold, but it seems like I'm having more and more issues with having track bending and stuff. There's not a huge derail. There's not a huge temperature swing in the room up here, so I wouldn't think that that would be causing it. And of course, it derailed in two places. So, take just a second here, move some stuff out of the way, and I have to reach the cars that got derailed. I don't know why they derailed back where they did. Wasn't that much pressure on them, but oh well. Take just a second here. This train backing up to where I can hook back up to everything. But whoever just joined the live chat, howdy. Nice to see you tonight. Let's see, live chat. Alright, get things moving again. Get that sitting there, get my coal train moving. The outside track that has the coal train on it is DCC. Has two scale trains SD40-2s. The inside track is DC. Has the Interstate Heritage Unit and the Southern Heritage Unit. And as long as I have room, I may be adding a third unit to it just to show off tonight. Just depends on when I park it here for a second, where it sits. The wire's in the way. That is one issue I know I have, and I know how to fix. It's called cut the wires. Get that train moving again. Get our coal train moving a little faster here. See, that train's starting to creep around. I'm going to park both of them for a second just to see how much space I have. Maybe add a car or two. Maybe add another engine. Stop that train. Get this one moving. I'm very impressed with these MTH locomotives. I've got a lot of weight behind them. and they seem to be pulling pretty good. Just a little more. Alright, take a look at what kind of room I have. Ouch. Sitting on the floor is not the best thing for me. Oh, wow. Okay, can add a couple cars to the outside track and add a lot. Could add a lot more coal cars, but I don't think I'm going to. But I know for certain, shut that off for a second, I'm going to add a third locomotive. Just because I can. Just to show off for tonight, because it is also a brand new locomotive. There. She's hooked up. Power on. So now this track has 3 locomotives on it. A GP38-2, a AC44, and a second AC44. I think that's what they were. ES44AC. Had to think for a second. Howdy, I see I got another person on live chat. Who is it? Let's see. Get my coal train moving. This is just a live chat that I'm doing for tonight for Halloween. And I'll go ahead and stop this outside train here. Little backstory on this poor old locomotive. The Brandon Railway crash of 1834. 6 passenger cars going around the curve in Louisville. When the train lost traction due to a washout, went off the rails, all 6 cars, locomotive and tender, wound up in the river. Unfortunately, there were no survivors. So Brandon Railway rebuilt or recovered the locomotive after the crash and decided to leave it as is, as a monument to those who died in the fiery wreck of 1834. So that's a nice little thing that I done up there. It was a Tyco, I think, tender drive, and it burned up on me. It actually did catch fire one night, and didn't run right ever since I got it. I only paid like $5, and so I decided I was going to paint it up for the Cleveland Indians when they hit the World Series, and then they messed around and lost. And so I decided, because it was having too many technical issues, to just burn it and make it into a little type of monument, memorial, museum thing. So that's why it has the paint on it that it does. Get that moving. Oops, wrong button. The DCC system that I'm using is a Digitrax DCS50 Zephyr unit I picked up from Denny, one of my train guys. I picked that up from him for like $100, and I'm happy with it. It's only got 9 buttons, 10 buttons, but it allows me to do what I want to with my locomotives. I would like to be able to do a little more, but I'm happy with what I can get out of them. Eventually, I am going to get the remote system for it, so I can remote control trains when I move out, because I'm going to have trains through the entire house. Here's the new locomotive, second one I just got today, 5642, training the first responders. It has classification lights on it instead of ditch lights. And honestly, I like them. I think they're cool. Although I would have put the actual ditch lights on it because that's what's on the real thing. But regardless, I like the way it looks. I did weather the grills on it to match pictures that I have. A heads up for anybody that's interested in seeing that locomotive in real life. It's going to be in Bellevue, Ohio, I believe May 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Probably somewhere up around the Bellevue Mormon Yard, because I found out exactly when it's going to be, where it's going to be. That way I can go chase it down and get some pictures of it myself, because I've had to use pictures from online of it and the interstate to be able to weather it. But yeah, right now this keeps me sane. Just having, hello, I see I have another viewer. How you doing tonight? Um, yeah, this keeps me sane, believe it or not. Just even coming upstairs and running trains around for a few minutes. Um, and I don't have to have sound, but like I said, I do have the DCS 50 system. I've got several sound locomotives that I run around from time to time. And was just looking to see if I could find one of my other sound locomotives. I'm not sure where my Brandon Railway big one is. Oh, there it is. Kind of buried. But, you know what? I'm going to step up for a second. Shut down that train. I'm going to put on my custom painted Brandon Railway SD70 Ace. It is not 100% done, but I do have 99% of the decals done on it. So stop that, lights off, shut those off for a minute. The one that I am putting on the track, on the DCC track, is a Walthers mainline. So the sound will come on right away. Button number 8 is functioning mute button for Walthers. And I like it. I bought it because it was a Florida East Coast, and Norfolk Southern just got a Florida East Coast, number 104. But I decided to paint it for Brandon Railway. Make kind of like a business train like BNSF does. Let's see. And I tried to match the speed of the bell to what Norfolk Southern has. And she has a lot of pulling power. I'm surprised, honestly, that it has as much as it does, even though it is an SD70 Ace. I'm not sure what's going on, but it seems like it wants to stick. I'm going to stop that for a second. Try again. It has the power to pull it. haven't had issues with it in the past. See if the coupler, I think I know what it is. Yep. I gotta go fix the coupler on it. The only thing I don't like about Walther's mainline is the couplers on the front are really hard to put on. Oh, that's what it is. Huh. That was an easy fix. I got a board holding up my cabinet type thing down there, and the train hit it and didn't want to move forward. Big snowplow. Howdy, I see I got another visitor tonight. Probably another board in the way. That's the price you pay when you run stuff under stuff line. Oh, no, it's that. Actually, I'm just going to have to take that off because it is not going to allow my coal train to run through. So there, problem solved. Like I said, this is a Walther's mainline on track 1. Seems to have plenty of power. Hey Matt, what's up? These are those new locomotives that I did a review on earlier on DC, my smashed bus. Done that up just because I didn't want to throw it out and it was never going to run right. So why not? Doing a little bit of a break-in run with these 2 new engines because they say you should run them for about an hour after you get them to break them in. Different speeds, different directions and stuff. But, yeah, just running some stuff, keeping me sane, giving me a little something to do while Grandma's out at the nursing home. Because don't have to take care of her or anything right now, being that she's out there. I did manage to get the ditch lights to flash on the Walther's mainline engine. The only problem, they're dim, and they don't alternate. And I found out that they don't alternate because the ditch lights are on the same pad when it comes to DCC. She's acting like she's stuck. Nope, just moving slow. There we go. Not sure why she's moving so slow. Could be a little bit much weight for it, but I've had more behind it in the past. Try to speed this train up a little more. Been a long day. About as long as these 2 trains combined. So, anyhow, if you guys have any questions, like I said, I might not be as bright as Garrett when it comes to some stuff, but if you have any requests on stuff you'd like to see me running, let me know. Any questions on stuff that you see running. The engine that's in the background there, that's an SD70 Athearn Genesis. Nice locomotive, but I don't run it too often because it's a bigger locomotive, and I haven't been running a whole lot of stuff recently. I think what I'm about to do on track 2, once it gets back around, is I'm going to flip the locomotives around, put the training the first responders third, long hood lean back, same with the interstate, so I can start running them kind of backwards to kind of break them in reverse. And I think I'm going to go ahead and add a locomotive to my coal train, because like I said, she seems to be struggling. So we'll pull her up here to a stop. Pull it forward just enough to get another locomotive on here. And we'll run my Norfolk Southern. Let's see. Now that we got that on there, much better. Might have been just a bit too much weight for the Brandon Railway SD70. But hey, you never know till you try and find out. So I'm going to go ahead and switch these around here on track 2 so I can run the new ones in reverse. I found out the reason they suggest that you run them forward and reverse for about an hour is that way the gears will seat. For some reason, I'm not sure why or what it is, but the gears don't quite seat when they're first manufactured. So that's why they suggest that you run them in forward and reverse. And I just uncoupled. So I think track 1's going to shut down for a while. Track 2's going to stay going because it's going strong. Seems to be having no real issues, knock on wood. Go ahead and fix track 1, and I'm going to probably go ahead and shut it down for the night. Actually, I know what I'm going to do. And my SD78 is not going to like it. But I'm going to make it pull things back around so I can hook up my SD40s. Because they seem to have no problems pulling this train. Of course, it could be that there's also 3 of them instead of just one SD70. But it is what it is. It works nice for what I want. I still haven't got it completely figured out. How to, wow. I am surprised. I am very impressed. The MTH GP38-2 is pulling an entire train by itself. And I know it's got to be struggling. But it does not look like it is. Try to hold these locomotives back so they can help. I don't know why it came uncoupled, but it did. Stop it here for a second and take a look at the coupler height. Well, that might explain a little bit. Should have been okay though. Try and go around one more time with it and see. Stop my DCC train. As soon as this one clears, I'm going to put my SD40s back on because they love pulling coal trains. If you ever go out to Pennsylvania, you'll see they definitely love it. So, anyhow, hope you guys don't mind me doing such a long video. Just kind of doing this to have something to do. Be able to get a shout out to Cocosin Valley. A shout out to my sister's channel, Luna, at Service Dog Luna, because they need help getting people on their channels and stuff. And gives me something to do. And if any of you guys have questions about anything that I run, this gives you a chance to ask them and see some of the stuff I have. Trying to hold these two lead engines back because for some reason they just don't want to stay coupled to the first responders engine, and I know it definitely needs the help because it is not going to be able to pull that entire train by itself. I know it. In real life, it probably could, but I know it would be struggling, just like it is now. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up to a stop as well. Take this locomotive off because I know it's definitely broken in now. Just couple our two ES44s back up. Coupler height looks good. And we'll just run the two of them around. Go ahead and throw my SD40-2s back on the DCC track. Fire them up. I still have to have all these on as locomotive 3 because I'm still having issues when I go to MU them that the NS engine shuts off and my CSX engine shuts off. I've done a factory reset on all three. I'm not sure why it's doing what it is, but it is. So, oh well. Power. All three of them are back on. That train's going around just nice. So, like I said, if you guys have any questions about anything you see that I'm running, any comments, suggestions, any ideas on what might be wrong with the NS and the CSX SD40-2s, I'm always more than willing to listen. And like I said, if you guys have any comments on maybe how to fix that or anything, just give me a holler. And if you could, hit that like button and mention me to some of your friends, because I do need help getting more subscribers to my channel. Right now I only have 18. So I'd like to get just a few more subscribers to the channel. Anyhow, pull this up to a stop. Shut that off. But anyhow, this is what I've been working on setting up. And like I said, when I get into my own place here shortly, I'll be setting up throughout the entire house with a DCS 50 system and remotes, so I can control the trains throughout the entire house. So anyhow, this is Brandon Railway 6920 signing off for the night.